Hello my friends, and welcome to my kitchen. It is Saturday, January 28th, and we are making tonight some lemon chicken orzo soup. So, if you're on, say hi. If you're watching this on the replay, hashtag replay. I am streaming this again tonight to my YouTube channel as well as my VIP page. So, yeah, so if you're on, say hi. If you're watching this on the replay, hashtag replay. So, it's a cold one. Well, it's not as cold as it could be, I guess, but it's a snowy week it has been. So, I don't know why, I just felt like I was in the mood for some comfort food. So, I've chopped up a couple of carrots, probably 2.5, 3 carrots, a couple stalks of celery, and half or 3/4 of an onion that I had in the fridge. So that's all chopped up. We are going to get our Instapot here on saute. Hi Heather. So we're going to get this on saute. I've got about a tablespoon of olive oil in the bottom of my pot, and we are just going to get these veggies in here and we're going to saute them off. So a couple of minutes, just until our onions are translucent. That's all we're really looking for. So we're just going to let that bubble away for a minute or two while I talk about what else we're going to do. So, as I said, we're going to make this lemon orzo soup, lemon chicken orzo soup. So, of course, we need some chicken. So, I have about maybe a half a pound of chicken breast there, not quite a pound, which is okay. And I have roughly 5 cups of hot water. I just boiled the kettle. So we're going to open our lemon chicken orzo soup, or lemon chicken orzo package. We're going to get it into our hot water and mix it up while we wait for those veggies to saute. So let's get this seasoning into our water. Okay, in goes the seasoning. I knew there was more left in the package. I could feel it. So in that goes, and we are going to just give that a whisk. Now the reason I boiled the kettle and I boiled this water is because I want the Instapot to come to pressure a little bit quicker, just because we are on live. So I could have used hot water out of the tap. I could have used just regular water, regular temperatured water. It would just mean that the Instapot would take a little bit longer to come to pressure. So hopefully this hack is going to help us come to pressure a little bit quicker. All right, so we have our veggies in there. And I haven't heard a sizzle yet. So actually, now that I say that, I hear it start to sizzle. So that's an awesome thing. All right, we're going to get that, like I said, we're going to wait for those veggies to saute up a bit. So just a couple of minutes. What else am I doing tonight? So we are also going to make tonight our steamer apple crisp. So something that's very quick, along with our soup, which is a very homey meal, or a very comfort food meal, for me anyway. We are also going to have some steamer apple crisp. Now our steamer apple crisp is going to take us roughly 8 minutes in the microwave in one of our multi-purpose steamers, which is awesome. And so that's going to be dessert tonight. It's probably going to be finished long before our soup is finished, but that's okay. So one of the other hacks with this, as I said, we're going to have lemon chicken orzo soup. So I've got my veggies in here. As I said, we're just sauteing them off for a minute or two. We're going to add our chicken. We're going to add our stock. We're going to put the lid on. We're going to set this for about 10 minutes on high pressure. Once it comes to pressure, it will count down to 10 minutes, and then we will let it naturally pressure release for about 5 minutes, and then we'll do a quick release. And I'll tell you what I mean by that if you don't have an Instapot. It just means that when you're talking about a natural pressure release, once it counts up, so it goes, once it comes to pressure, the time starts ticking up, ticking down from 10 minutes. So it'll start at 10 and go down to 0. Once it hits 0, then it beeps and it starts to naturally pressure release all the pressure that's in the pot. So what does that mean? It just starts to release all that built up pressure, and you will hear your pin drop when the pressure has released, and then you can usually open the lid. So as in a pressure cooker, that's exactly what we're talking about. All right, our veggies are getting they're getting all happy in there, and they're starting to smell. You can smell the aroma coming out of the pot. So we're going to get these 2 chicken breasts in there. And they're just full-size chicken breasts. I could cut them down into squares. Actually, I think I might do that. I was going to just do my hack of just using my electric mixer to shred them up, but I don't think I'm going to do that tonight. I think I'm just going to cut these into chunks so that they will cook faster. All right, one of the other things to note here is that I'm going to do our orzo on the stove in a pot. And the reason I'm doing that is because if I was to put the orzo in with the soup, so get it in there once the chicken is cooked and the veggies are cooked, you would take the lid off, turn it to saute, and put your orzo in. The reason I'm not doing that tonight is because this is a large pot of chicken orzo soup, and it's just me. So I'm not going to be eating this whole pot of chicken orzo soup tonight. Definitely not eating it all tonight. So with that being said, with the orzo in there, it starts to absorb too much liquid. So if you have a big family and you're cooking for your big family, then by all means, once the chicken is cooked, once our pressure's off, we take the lid off, you throw your uncooked orzo in, turn it to saute for a couple of minutes, about 8 minutes I think it is, and then your orzo should be cooked and your soup is ready. For me tonight, we are going to cook the orzo separately and then throw it in and get the same effect, okay? I'm going to throw the orzo, the cooked orzo, into my bowl and then ladle the soup on top of it. So that's the difference. And I'm still going to have chicken orzo soup. I'm just going to have leftover soup without the orzo in it. Now, to this we are also going to add, once it's done, we're going to add some extra veggies in there. So we're going to add some spinach to wilt off. And that's just preference. That's just adding some extra veggies to my dinner tonight. You can or you don't have to. It's totally preference. And I may forget and just not do it either. So, if I'm honest. All right, our chicken is in there. we are going to turn off our saute. Give this a stir. We're going to turn off our saute. Get rid of those chicken dishes. All right. Let's get the saute off. All right, so our chicken's in there and our veggies are in there. Our 2 stalks of celery, a couple of carrots, about 3/4 of an onion. I'm gonna put our sauce, or our stock, I guess, in. All right, all of that's in there. Now I got a carrot stuck in my whisk. It's always fun cooking with Kim. All right, so let's get our lid on our Instapot. Other side. So we have our Instapot lid. On it goes. Lock it into place. And we are going to pressure cook. And there we go. So our pressure cooker is on. Ready to go. That's it. Soup is in the pot. In 10 minutes time, we're going to have perfectly cooked chicken and vegetables. We're going to see that in about 10 minutes. So set it, forget it, that's it. All right, let's get working on our apple crisp. So I have our multi-purpose steamer here, only because my score steamer I used it the other night. So in here I have 3 or 4 apples cut up. I have 2 Granny Smith and a couple of Gala apples. So I did put about half of a lemon on there. We can use our baked apple, we can use our cran apple cinnamon, or we could just use our apple pie spice. Tonight I'm going to use our cran apple because I like it. And so I'm just going to do a couple of tablespoons of seasoning on top of our apples, just to season up our apples. And that's it. All right. So that's our cran apple cinnamon. I'm going to just use my spoon to stir up those apples and get that seasoning on top of them. It's got some organic cane sugar in there. It's got some cranberry pieces and apple pieces. Looks already delicious and smells already delicious. So what is an apple crisp without a topping? It would just be applesauce. So I have a cup of quick cooking oats. I have a 1/3 of a cup of brown sugar that I'm going to add in there. I have a 1/3 of a cup of flour. And this, guys, is just a regular crumble recipe. I'm just going to get those mixed in. And I have a 1/3 of a cup of unsalted butter here. Just cubed up. I took it out of the fridge earlier and cubed it up just so that it kind of came to a little bit of room temperature. So it was easier to work with, because we really want to get this mixed into our oats, our brown sugar, and our flour. Along with that, I am going to sprinkle in some of our baked apple seasoning, just to give it a little bit of extra cinnamon and a little bit of extra flavor in there. So about a tablespoon. And that's our baked apple. Okay, so that's in there. So now we're going to add in 1/3 of a cup of cubed, softened somewhat butter. And the good idea here, guys, is to use your hands because you want to crumble this. You want to get that butter in with your, mixed into your oats and your sugar. The warmth from your hands is going to help. It's going to make a mess, but it's going to help. And you can also feel when it comes down to, you can feel the change in texture from your flour and sugar incorporated into that butter. You want to get it nice and pea size so that it's just going to form like a crust on top of your apples. So you want to get it all mixed in nicely to that flour and oats. I probably should have put less in here because I think I've overdone it with the butter actually. If there's ever a chance you can overdo butter, I think I've overdone the butter. So let's get it mixed in. And I'm getting it all over the counter. I probably should have used a bigger bowl. Good thing our counter's clean. And I'm just trying to get that butter incorporated into all the flour and the sugar and the oats. So if you've ever, I'm sure an apple crumble is something that many people make, especially in the fall when it's apple season. It's a great time for apple crisps, but tonight it was kind of one of those, they had apples on the counter that weren't looking their best, and I thought to myself, you know what, I think I'm going to make an apple crisp. So I picked up a couple more because I like Granny Smith apples in my apple crisp. They give it a little bit of tang to the sweetness of the apples, and it just makes for a delicious apple crisp. You get the sweetness from the Gala apples, you get the tartness from the Granny Smith, and yeah, you're good to go. All right, so there is our crumble, our topping ready to go. I'm going to rinse my hands off because they are a mess. I'm going to quickly clean up that countertop and get it into the bowl. And give me 1 second, I'll be right back. Okay, so apple crisp. 8 minutes in the microwave in our multi-purpose steamer. Depending on how thick you've cut your apples, if you have cut them really thick, or if you're using a smaller steamer, you may get away with less time. We've used a larger steamer, and my apples are thin, but they're not, there's a lot of them. So I'm gonna go with probably 7 minutes and then check this. And yeah, we're gonna try that. And if it's not cooked, what you're gonna do when your apple crisp is done, you're going to just poke through to see the tenderness of the apples on the bottom. And you want to get your apples pretty much covered. My apples are not going to be completely covered because I could have probably used less butter and more to make them more crisp on the top, but that's okay. We're still gonna have a delicious apple crisp. Now, I could pop this into the oven. If I didn't want to use the microwave, I could pop this into the oven at 375, I think it is, for 30 to 35 minutes in total. I'm not using the oven tonight. We're going to use the microwave. So we are going to pop this into our microwave for 8 minutes, lid on. And we are going to get our pot on the stove boiling for our orzo. So I just have a multi-purpose pot on the stove. It has about 6 cups of water in it. All right, I'm gonna make sure that lid is on nice and tight. All right, our crisp is in the oven, in the microwave. Our soup is in the Instapot, and we're waiting for that to come to pressure. I just have our 8-cup pot here on the stove. I'm gonna turn that on, and I have roughly a half a cup of orzo ready to go into the pot. Do you need an Instapot, or can you do this another way? Yes, Heather, you can do this another way. You can do this on the stove top without a problem. So you would saute your veggies in your pot on the stove, put in your chicken, put in your liquid. Okay, so your liquid with your seasoning, and then just put the lid on it and let it boil for, I would say, roughly about 10 minutes, the same. Then you're going to either shred your chicken breasts, or you're going to cut it into smaller bite-sized pieces, and it's the same. It would be done the same way. Now, right? The Instapot, it probably is going to take about 20 minutes on your stove top, where the Instapot, because it comes to pressure, it's just a little bit quicker. That's all. Okay, so you could definitely do this on the stove top. 25-30 minutes is probably what it would take to bring it to a boil, to cook those veggies through to tender, and to cook your chicken. Now, you could put your chicken and your veggies into your multi-purpose steamer. You could cook those in the steamer first off, and then throw them into the pot with your liquid and bring it to a boil. Once it comes to a boil, then your soup is ready to go. So the Instapot just infuses that flavor into your chicken and your veggies a little bit more, because it is a pressure cooker. That's all. Okay, so we have come to pressure. I think we're gonna have, it's gonna start to count down. I see our pin has fully come, pressurized. So our pot is fully pressurized there. It is going to start any minute now, I would think, to start counting down our 10 minutes. Our apple crisp is in the oven, and we have, what do we have on the apple crisp? We have about 4 minutes left on our apple crisp. So that's going to come out. We've got our pot starting to boil for our orzo that we're going to throw in there. And yeah, supper is on the go, and that took us, we're sitting at 24 minutes. So 24 minutes, we have our apple crisp in the microwave. We have our chicken, lemon chicken orzo soup in our Instapot, and it has come to pressure. Now, like I said, it's just going to take about 10 minutes for it to count down. We have, there we go, it's going to start to count down. And we have our pot boiling on our stove top that we're going to throw our orzo into. So give me 1 second. We are just starting to boil, so in about a minute, not even a minute, we're going to dump our orzo into our pot, and that's going to cook for about the same 9 minutes that our Instapot's going to go for. Our orzo will be done the same time. We're going to drain our orzo, and then, like I said, I'm just going to measure some out and put it into my bowl, add some spinach to my bowl, and then ladle my soup into my bowl, and my lemon chicken orzo soup is done. That's how quick that is. So we have about 2 minutes and 25 seconds left on our apple crisp that is in the microwave. We will bring that out and show that to you before we, while we wait for this soup to cook. All right, I think our pot is just starting to boil, so let's dump our orzo in there. It's starting to boil. The bubbles are starting to come. It's just not at a rapid boil yet, so let's wait on that. So now it's just waiting. So if you haven't heard, we have a subscription box, our Epic box. Our Epic box subscription is the first of every month. So our boxes are coming up for, we will have our February Epic box, which will ship the first week of February. So payments for the February Epic box will be due January 31st. Our Epic box is $35, and it is a subscription. So every month you get a box delivered directly to your door. It has 7 different meal solutions in it. It has an exclusive item that's not in our catalog. It has a dessert, and it has a sample dip package. So this month we had, and I've used some of them already. So in this month we had something that's not in our catalog, our tuna casserole. We made this the other night into a tuna melt on a naan. Let me just throw that orzo into the pot. Okay, orzo is in the pot. And we're going to let that cook. For about 9 minutes. Our apple crisp smells amazing. I'm just going to check that while I'm over here. See if it needs 1 more minute or not. I'm going to throw that back in for 1 minute. It smells done, but I think it needs 1 more minute. Okay, so apple crisp is in the microwave. All right, so we got this month, we had our tuna noodle casserole, our tuna casserole, which the other night I made into tuna melts on naan breads. So what happens with these is you will receive an email from Epicure. In there it will tell you what is in your box, as well as it'll give you a link to different recipes that you can use these packages for. So this just doesn't have to be a tuna casserole. You could make it into other things, and our recipe builder will give you that information. So what else did we have in here? We had our creamy pesto. This one we didn't use this month, but our creamy pesto Parmesan chicken. So chicken, boneless, skinless chicken breast with spinach. You use 1.5 cups of milk. Set it aside with the seasoning. You brown up your chicken fillets, and then stir in the seasoning and add some baby spinach, and then serve it over rice or pasta. Delicious. We had our Another exclusive that was in this box this month was our Tex-Mex crumbs. It didn't get to use those, but we will use them for something. It's like a shake and bake coating, but it is a Tex-Mex flavor. We did use our cha-cha chili. I had another one. So you could make chili with this. You could make chili mac. You could use it for chili burgers. Just delicious. We also had in there, I think we had our Chocolate Temptations cupcakes were our dessert. We used those this month for a chocolate cake with a caramel frosting. It was delicious. Our dip mix was our lemon dill. So yeah, that's our Epic box. And our Epic box allows you to, instead of going through our catalog and ordering 3 meal solutions, it allows you to try it before you buy it. Okay, so that is our Epic box. Our subscriptions are, it comes out monthly, and it is a wonderful tool. All right, I'm going to give our Orzo here a stir, and I'm going to grab our, woohoo, this smells amazing. So I'm going to be careful and grab our multi-purpose steamer out of the microwave. Oh guys, my kitchen smells like apples and cinnamon, and it just smells amazing in here. So let's lift our lid off. There you have our apple crisp. So if I wanted to, if I needed to have like a little crust on the top, as far as it browned up or whatnot, I could throw it in the into the oven for a minute or 2 without the lid on, just to let that top crisp up. But our apples are fork tender. They are done. All right, so here is, I'm gonna grab an oven mitt because this is hot. And I'll show you what we got here. So there is our apple crisp, 8 minutes out of the oven in our multi-purpose steamer. Looks delicious, smells amazing. The only thing I need to add to that is maybe some vanilla ice cream when I go to serve it. You could serve this up to anyone. Don't have to tell them it took you 8 minutes in the microwave. Delicious dessert. All right, so that is dessert for tonight. I'm going to set that aside and let it cool down. I'm going to give our Orzo another stir. And we got about 2 minutes left on our lemon chicken soup. So we're going to wait for that to beep and come out of our Instapot. When our soup is ready, our Orzo will be ready, and we'll be able to plate up our soup with some baby spinach and some Orzo in our bowl, and we will have lemon chicken Orzo soup for dinner tonight in roughly 30 minutes. So soup in 30 minutes, a delicious well-infused soup in 30 minutes is awesome in my books. So like I said, we have a minute or so left on these. Just for, as an FYI, we still have our steamers on sale. They are 20% off, I think it is. So if you're interested in one of our steamers, send me a message. We also have our Valentine's mealograms. So if you remember back to high school days or back to school days when they had candiograms or anything like that. That's what we're doing here. So all you do is send me the information, the name and address of who you want to send your mailogram to. I include a beautiful little Valentine's Day card with a special message on the back if you wish. And I stamp it. I put some beautiful little Valentine stickers on the back of the envelope and send it off to your Valentine recipient for Valentine's Day. So that costs you $7.50, and no muss, no fuss. You have nothing to worry about. Your Valentine will get one of our meal solutions or a couple of our sample meal solutions to make a full meal, and they will get a card letting them know that you're thinking about them on Valentine's Day. So if you're interested in that, send me a message. I will get those out for you. So we have come to our 10 minutes is done. Our soup is cooked. So we are going to, so now the pot is naturally pressure releasing. We're going to do a quick release, which means that we're going to release the steam ourselves. And there goes our steam. I am going to take our orzo off the stove, and I'm going to drain it while our pressure is releasing there on our soup. So, 1 second. All right, our orzo is done. And our spinach that we're going to add to our bowl is here. So I'm just going to take a few leaves of our washed spinach into the bottom of our bowl. I'm going to add to that a scoop of our orzo. Now this may not be fully cooked, guys, because the soup is going to cook the remainder of that. All right, so we cooked it to al dente, which is what orzo is cooked to, because when it's in a soup or when it's in a liquid, it will continue to cook. So we are just waiting for our pin to drop, which it will in a couple of seconds. You never want to put your hand over that steam. There we go. And so we just want to move our pot, take our lid off. Make sure you lift it away from yourself so you don't get any of that steam in your face or on your hands. Nothing like that. All right, so our chicken orzo soup is done. Smells amazing in here. We are going to ladle this onto our soup. And we're just going to give that a stir so that it wilts our spinach. And that's dinner. So let's grab a spoon. Let's give that a stir. There is our chicken orzo soup done in the Instapot with some baby spinach, our orzo, and it smells amazing. So there's our lemon chicken orzo soup, ready to go, ready for dinner, 30 minutes, and we are done. So it's been about 39 minutes, a little bit longer, just because we needed to get everything ready to go. I'm going to dump the rest of this orzo into my soup now. Let that finish cooking up. And I have soup for the next couple of days. Looks delicious, smells delicious, and I can't wait for dinner. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining me. I will take some pictures of my lemon chicken orzo soup and my apple crisp, and I will post them to my page. Thank you again for joining me. I won't be on tomorrow night, Sunday, but I will be back on Monday. I hope you have a fantastic weekend, and I will talk to you soon. Bye for now.